Legos evidently is a good thing to buy, and you can make money on these things later.
So weird.
It's crazy.
Is it an investment to the company or the
No.
Legos?
The Legos themselves, because evidently they're limited. So you know how they come out and go, you can get the Star Wars Legos and build the Millennium Falcon or something like that.
Yeah.
They make just a small amount of those things. So you can buy them, and then they don't make them anymore. So they turn into collectibles. Most Lego sets that you can see in the store are something that's about today. And so, if there's a popular movie or something like that, it's coming out. And then there's not many second-party people that have them available.
Okay.
Which makes these things collector items down the road if you don't do what my family did.
What did you do? Oh, no.
They're all mixed together. You don't know what goes to what.
I think so many families do that. We did that as well. And then it's like, okay, I have no idea where that piece went that I need.
That wasn't by choice. If it were me, I would have kept everything separate because you have to make them into certain. If you're gonna make it into the Viking boat, you got to have the Viking boat pieces, not all that stuff around. And then you let the kids loose on it, and they all get mixed into with each other, and then forget it. You don't have the box anymore.
That's what kids do, though. Yeah, I don't remember actually mixing the kids' Legos. I think they did it on their own, but
in the elementary school that my youngest Eli went to, he had a friend whose mother went around to garage sales and would buy some of these Lego pieces and then sell the specific Lego pieces. So if you were missing something for a set, you could get her on Etsy or something like that, and she'd sell you the piece.
Wow.
Smart.
Very smart.
Really, really smart.
Woman. Wow. Okay. Is she still doing that? Because somebody might want to know.
Right?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Valerie walked into the mall one day. She saw one of those angel trees and saw, I'm going to take care of this one right here because they needed a bike. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. And the good news is she brought that bike. And so that child is going to have that bike. The thing is about Valerie is that she needed that tree one day.
She did. When her kids were a little younger and finances weren't exactly where, she wanted them to be or could make some things like a bike happen, she took part in the Angel Tree as a recipient for a couple of years. And so she was so thankful that she was able to tap into that resource and make that happen for her own children. She really saw the value of it once she got to a place where she had a good, steady job, finances were a little better, and so why not give back?
And she did.
She did.
Got a bike, and now a child has a bike because of Valerie. And that child has a bike because Valerie one day needed them for her own kids.
Mm-hmm. And not every child on one of the angel trees asks for a bike, but I think she specifically probably went in and looked for that on the tree because she knew what a difference it made in her own kids' lives.
Isn't that great?
It is
and
awesome.
You know what I kind of think, and this is I'm probably way off base, but I kind of think because those people gave those bikes, there's another child that has a bike because Valerie received those bikes, and she thought, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing one day. So there's another child that has a bike because of that original couple that gave the bikes in the first place. Did I talk in circles or did that make sense?
No, it made sense. Yeah. And, giving back this time of year, it's, following the example that we follow and giving is the greatest gift. It really is.
So Valerie, thank you for showing us what we need to do.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This is Luna, and Luna was abandoned. A couple months ago, she was found. She was malnourished, had Lyme disease. I mean, had so many issues until someone got a hold of her, got her the medication, kind of nursed her back to health. And then she ended up having a starring role in the Nutcracker.
That is so great.
On stage. So Luna was an abandoned dog.
Luna's a dog.
Luna is a dog.
And a star of
Yeah.
a musical?
Exactly, in the Nutcracker. She was on stage for a couple of performances, and then I think she decided to hang up her tights and no longer be part of the Nutcracker anymore.
What kind of breed is Luna?
I think she's kind of a mix. She kind of looks like she could be some sort of terrier mixed with a pit bull, kind of.
I'm trying to visualize a dog in tights.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work for me.
She actually wore a cape, I think.
Okay,
rather
well,
than
there you
tights.
go. A little better.
But she's so cute. But she came such a long way. No one knows, obviously, who abandoned her. But they found her tied to like a pole just in the middle of town.
Really?
And she was so malnourished. I mean, she had to be on antibiotics and fluids. And they were really concerned that she was going to make
It's
it
almost
through.
as if, now that I hear that the dog was tied to a pole, it's almost as if the person who had it knew, I can't take care of my dog. Maybe if I do this, somebody will take this dog.
I can see that.
Right.
But because she was so malnourished, they let it go so far. I hope that that's the case, is that they finally got to the decision that they couldn't do it anymore and someone will take her. But, I would have hoped that they would have taken her to a shelter, but maybe they didn't have that resource.
Didn't know how to do that.
Exactly.
Who knows? You
But-
have no idea. But the dog's doing great, and now has an IMDb.
I know. Complete 180 for Luna.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You think during this time of the year that it brings some good and some bad out of people, especially when all of a sudden it comes to your kids. As irritated as you can get with your kids and not picking things up in their room and bringing down the dishes and staying on Fortnite all day and all night, then all of a sudden they do something selfless during this time of year. It's amazing. Love to hear your story at 800-447-7234.
My son Hayden did this a couple of years ago. He must have been around 10 years old. But anyway, he found out about this woman and her family that couldn't afford a Christmas tree. It was a single mom, and she had, I think, a 3-year-old little boy, and she could afford to buy him a couple of things, but couldn't afford the Christmas tree. And that's all he wanted, the Christmas lights. And he would ask for a tree and that kind of thing. And so my son had his own tree in his room. It was artificial, fully decorated, lights, ornaments, everything. He donated it to her. He gave it to her.
How big of a tree this is? I think a kid with a tree, he must have been a teenager.
No, he was probably about 10 years old.
10 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like tabletop.
No, it was probably 4 feet high.
And he gave away his tree to this family. That's great.
With the ornaments, the lights, everything. He'd spent so much time getting it ready.
Talk about selfless.
Yeah, because he loved it. Yeah.
That is so great. What about your kids? Love to hear your story. Brag on them a little bit, would you? Or something that you heard about another child? 800-447-7234.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So great to see when kids do selfless things during the Christmas season or any time of the year, right? It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew at His Radio, 800-447-7234. Liz was just saying one of her sons, Hayden, gave away his entire huge Christmas tree to a family.
Right, and he loved that tree. He had wanted a tree in his room, but he gave it all away fully decorated.
Olivia's along with us. What about you, Olivia? What did your kids do?
My church has adopted a few schools. We are determined that every child will have a new coat and a new toy. So it was left up to the youth to go toy shopping. My kids could not wait to get up to go shopping for the kids. They were so excited. They just wanted to go early. They wanted me to drop them off early. And, the stores aren't open yet, but they just could not wait. And it just did my heart, some good that they're so eager for the kids to have a blessed Christmas.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
How do you turn a movie into an ice cream flavor?
I don't know if I were an ice cream maker, I might know that because they never seem to pair up. Because I've seen TV shows that are now ice cream, and it's like, I don't get.
Yeah, because they just turned The Christmas Story, the classic Christmas movie, The Christmas Story, into an ice cream flavor. This thing called Serendipity. It sounds like some high-end ice cream.
Oh, it probably is super expensive. I don't know. I've never seen it. But maybe they took like isn't he in like a puffy jacket? Maybe they made the chocolate that's in it in the shape of a puffy
It's
jacket?
a peppermint cookie fudge sundae.
See,
is
what does
pretty
that
much
have
what
to
it
do with A
is.
Christmas Story? However, I don't like that movie, and so I don't know. I don't know where the...
You don't like that movie?
I really don't, and I don't know why. Like,
Do not tell my oldest son Wes that you do not like that.
it's his
That's
favorite.
his movie.
people are
Yeah.
passionate about that movie, and I get it. I have, Christmas movies that I absolutely love, but that one...
What stands out? What was it that tipped you? It's like, I just don't like this movie.
I think the whole thing.
The whole movie,
I
from beginning
really
to end.
do. I just
From the opening credits.
kind of. I don't know if because the kid, I've seen him in other things. He's fine. It's
Yeah.
not like I have an aversion to the actors that are in the movie or anything like that. I don't know. Is it more male skewed? Do you think?
I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah, you got the whole mom thing in there.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's got a mom in there,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just like, what is it? TBS that shows it all day long, 24 hours of
Well,
a
you can
Christmas
stream
Story?
it whenever you want. Liz, one thing you'll notice about Liz is stuck on traditional TV. She has to watch it when it's on TV live in traditional TV.
It just makes it more special. Like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I'm not going to DVR that and watch it 4 days later. I want to watch it
Why
when
not?
it's happening. I want to watch it when it's happening.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Shh, it's a secret. Don't ruin the surprise. His morning crew with Rob and Liz, his radio.
And yet it is for some people who buy a lot of gifts on Alexa. Because now, I don't know if you have Alexa, but if you do, you can ask Alexa, what's in my shopping cart? And she tells you. What's in the shopping cart. But you can tell your notifications not to do that, which is good.
Especially this time of year when you're trying to keep some things on the down low.
Yeah, so if you have Alexa, you more than likely have the Alexa app on your phone because that's how you can do your settings on your Alexa is through the app that's on your phone. So when you go to notifications in your settings, there's a place that's called Say or Show Item Titles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and in there you can actually toggle off major holidays.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I'm so glad they thought about that because so many people are doing their shopping online and especially through
Yeah,
Alexa.
yeah, because you don't want to give it away. And if you have some smart kid, they're going to find out what they're getting for Christmas just by asking Alexa what's in the shopping cart.
Oh, my goodness. I wonder if Alexa ever was like, hey, come here. I got to tell you something.
You're right. You see the little notification ring around your Alexa. You go, oh, I know what's going on here.
She's got something to tell me.
Yeah, and then you have to worry about when it's delivered. That's a whole other thing there, isn't it? So that
Yeah.
they're not home and you're not. And then they get the box and go, oh,